Have you ever heard of someone, an uncle, a neighbor, maybe even your own parent, who seemed fine just a year ago, still walking, chatting, living, and then suddenly they were gone, passed away quietly at 79 or maybe 81, without warning, without clear cause? Doctors might say natural causes, but what if it wasn't natural at all? What if they faded, not because of illness, but because of something else? Something no one talks about, yet it quietly drains the life from millions after 60. Here's what most people don't realize. Many older adults stop engaging with one of the most powerful forces keeping their body, brain, and spirit alive, long before their heart gives out. Not because they want to, but because they've been silently told that part of your life is over. Here's the twist. The body doesn't stop needing pleasure, touch, or connection. But when we stop listening to those needs, the body begins to shut down in ways we can't see until it's too late. In this video, I'll walk you through the 6 overlooked habits that quietly predict early decline in seniors. And I'll give you a gentle but powerful roadmap to reclaim the vitality that still lives within you. You'll see how one small shift, not a pill, not a workout, but a deeply human act, can bring back clarity, joy, even purpose. And what I'll share around minute 15 is the part most families miss. It's the quiet warning sign that someone may be slipping away, not from disease, but from disconnection. If you believe aging should be about living, not just lasting, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me. Because what you're about to hear might change the way you see aging forever. Let's begin with the first sign. It's something most people mistake for just getting older, but it's far more dangerous than that. Sign number 1, losing sensory connection, the first step toward decline. Let me tell you something no one warned me about when I turned 65. It wasn't the stiffness in my knees. It wasn't the forgetting where I left my keys. It was something quieter and far more dangerous. I stopped feeling connected to my own body. You might recognize this too. Do you notice how your skin feels less sensitive? How you avoid mirrors? Not out of shame, but detachment. How long has it been since you felt alive in your own body? That's not just aging. It's your body sending a signal. You see, what we call aging is often disconnection in disguise. A gradual silence between you and the very system that kept you vibrant. And it begins here, with the fading of physical touch. Not necessarily from others, but from yourself. According to a 2021 study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience, seniors who regularly engaged in gentle self-touch, massaging their hands, brushing their skin, even moisturizing with care, showed a 14% improvement in mood and 20% better sleep quality over just 4 weeks. Why? Because touch activates more than skin. It awakens your nervous system, your hormonal balance, your sense of being. Let me give you an example. Frank, 72, used to be a warm, joking man. After losing his wife, he slowly withdrew. He stopped shaving, stopped exercising, said, "What's the point?" Within a year, his immune system weakened. He got pneumonia twice in 6 months. But when we encouraged him to re-engage with his body, even just by massaging his hands twice a day, he started sleeping better, smiling more, walking again. You see, our body keeps asking for attention. The tragedy is when we stop answering. Here's a question. When was the last time you touched your own shoulder? With care, not judgment? Start there. Tonight, after your shower, don't just dry off. Feel your skin. Thank it. Moisturize it like you matter. Because you do. That single act may be the first moment your body has felt loved in years. And once it feels that again, something ancient awakens. You don't have to run a marathon. You just have to reconnect. If this touches something in you, type "I'm ready" in the comments. Because in the next part, we go deeper into a topic many seniors never talk about, but their body desperately remembers. Sign number 2, abandoning self-intimacy and calling it normal. Let's talk about something almost no one dares to mention after 60. Self-pleasure. Some call it inappropriate. Others quietly believe it's something you should outgrow. And many simply stop, not because their body can't, but because the shame runs deeper than desire. Let me be clear. This is not about sex. This is about biology and the most misjudged form of self-care. You see, when seniors stop engaging with their bodies in intimate ways, it's not just a lifestyle change. It's a neurological shutdown. Without regular stimulation, even gentle arousal, the brain stops firing certain synapses. Blood flow slows, hormones like dopamine and oxytocin drop, and little by little, the emotional spark dims. A study in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who maintain self-pleasure routines report 19% less anxiety, better hormone balance, and a significantly lower risk of early cognitive decline. Yet we throw this vital function away because someone once said it was sinful, or because we believed aging equals disappearing. Let me tell you about Mary, 69. Divorced for over a decade, she thought that part of her life was done, but she began reconnecting with her body, not in haste or shame, but in gentleness. She said, "I felt alive again, like something inside me had been sleeping for years." Her energy returned. Her laugh came back. She even started painting again, something she hadn't done since her 40s. Why? Because when you reawaken sensation, you reawaken identity. So let me ask you, if you don't feel deserving of pleasure, who told you that? And why did you believe them? You don't need a partner. You don't need to perform. You need time, privacy, and permission to remember. Your body still works, and more importantly, it still matters. Tonight, give yourself 15 quiet minutes. No goal, no pressure, just curiosity. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe. Close your eyes. Let your body speak, gently, honestly. If this feels uncomfortable to talk about, it probably means you need to, and that's okay. We're breaking decades of silence here and doing it together. Leave a comment below with, "Still worthy." Not for me, but for the part of you that's been waiting to hear those words. Because in the next part, we'll expose the 3 biggest lies that robbed older adults of this joy and how to take that power back. Sign number 3, believing these myths and slowly fading because of them. What if I told you that many of the things you believe about your body after 60 are not only outdated, but deeply harmful? Let's break them down, one by one. Because until we name the lies, we can't reclaim the truth. Lie number 1, I'm too old for pleasure. This one hurts the most because it sounds so reasonable. You get slower. You need more rest. You tell yourself it's natural, but it's not. Neuroscience shows that the body's capacity for touch, intimacy, and sensory pleasure does not expire. It adapts. It asks differently, but it never disappears. Every time you believe you're too old, a part of your nervous system shuts a door, and over time, you forget there was ever a door at all. Lie number 2, self-pleasure is selfish or shameful. Many of us grew up in a culture that whispered about intimacy with judgment, or worse, silence. But here's the truth. Regular self-stimulation reduces cortisol, improves sleep, boosts immune function, and protects against cognitive decline. How is that selfish? If it makes your mind clearer, your heart lighter, and your body stronger, would not doing it be a disservice? Lie number 3. Sexual health has nothing to do with overall health. This is where the damage becomes physical. Sexual activity, whether shared or solo, stimulates blood flow, regulates hormones, and supports brain health. It's not separate from your health, it's foundational to it. Ignoring this part of you isn't just denying pleasure, it's denying the body's own system of self-renewal. Let me tell you about Robert. He's 78. For 10 years, he believed his best days were behind him. He avoided touch, even with himself. Then after working through these myths, he tried something simple. 5 minutes in private with no judgment. 3 months later, he told me, "I feel like I got a piece of myself back." What about you? Which of these lies have you heard before? Which ones are still holding you back? Comment below. Time to unlearn. Because once you do, your body responds faster than you think. And in the next part, I'll walk you step by step through a gentle, practical method you can follow at home to rebuild the connection your body has been longing for. Sign number 4, you're not broken. You've just been ignored. By now. You might be wondering, okay, I understand what I've lost, but how do I get it back without feeling awkward, silly, or out of place? The answer is simple, but powerful. You need a ritual, not a routine. A ritual, a sacred act of reconnection. Let me show you a 5-step method I've taught patients in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. It's gentle. It respects your body as it is. And most importantly, it works. Step 1. Preparation. Create a space where you feel safe and private. This matters more than you think. A warm room, a soft towel or blanket, maybe your favorite scent in the air. Use a nourishing oil or lotion, not for function, but for care. These signals tell your brain, this time is for you. Step 2. Relaxation. Don't jump in, sit, breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face soften. Relaxation isn't a pre-step to pleasure, it's the gateway to it. When you breathe slowly, your nervous system shifts from stress mode into healing mode. That's when the body begins to listen again. Step 3. Awakening. Begin by gently touching places often forgotten. Your forearms, thighs, belly, chest. Not for stimulation, for recognition. Notice how your skin responds. Even the smallest warmth, a tingle, a sigh, these are signs your body is still here, still capable of feeling. Step 4. Focus stimulation. Now, only if you feel ready, begin exploring more intimate areas. There's no goal here. Let curiosity guide you, not expectation. Go slowly. Pause when something feels tender or unfamiliar. Breathe through it. Remember, this isn't about youth. It's about presence. Step 5. Integration. When you're ready to stop, don't rush away. Place a hand over your heart. Close your eyes and say something kind, out loud or in silence. I'm here. I didn't give up on you. You're still mine. Let that settle. That's not just healing. It's homecoming. So many people chase better health through pills, diets, or equipment. But sometimes what you need is to come home to your body. And the moment you do, something shifts, not just physically, but emotionally. In the next part, I'll show you the most common traps that cause people to give up and exactly how to avoid them. So this reconnection becomes your new normal, not just a passing moment. Sign number 5, the quiet traps that make reconnection harder than it should be. Let me be honest with you, starting is hard, but staying consistent, that's where most people fall. And it's not because they don't care, it's because they step into invisible traps and don't even know it. Let's uncover the 3 biggest ones before they catch you too. Trap number 1, unrealistic expectations. You try once or twice, you don't feel much. You wonder, is something wrong with me? Then you stop. Here's the truth. If you haven't spoken to your body in years, it won't answer right away. It needs time to trust you again. Like an old friend you drifted from, it needs consistency, not perfection. Trap number 2, inconsistency. You promise yourself, I'll do it when I'm in the mood. But days pass, then weeks, and the habit never forms. Rebuilding neural pathways, just like muscle or balance, requires rhythm, not intensity. Even just 10 to 15 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, sends your brain the signal. This matters now. Trap number 3, shame that lingers in the background. You might not say it out loud, but deep down a voice whispers, this is silly. This is selfish. This part of my life is over. Let me say this gently but clearly. That voice isn't yours. It came from somewhere else. Maybe childhood, culture, religion. But you get to decide what stays. And shame has no place in healing. I've seen this with Eleanor, 73. She started the restoration ritual and then stopped. She said, I felt weird, like I was pretending to be someone younger. But she came back, not for results, but for relationship with herself. 3 months later, she told me, I stopped waiting to feel young and started feeling alive instead. You have 2 paths now. 1, you stay curious. You give your body time, space, and permission to awaken again. Or 2, you stop. You say it's too late, and slowly that part of you fades for good. Only one of those choices leads to life. So let me ask you, which path will you take? Leave a comment below with, "I'm choosing to stay," because in the next part, we'll look at what happens after you reclaim this connection and the surprising ripple effects it can have on your energy, emotions, and even relationships. Sign number 6, the return of vital energy, not just in the body, but in the spirit. Once your body begins to awaken again, something amazing happens. And it's not just physical. Your sleep improves. Your appetite returns, not just for food, but for life. You notice beauty again. Music feels deeper. Morning light feels warmer. Your world opens. Let me show you the contrast. 2 men, both 75 years old, same health history, similar lifestyles, but 2 completely different outcomes. Meet Walter. 3 years ago, Walter began withdrawing. He told himself, "No one touches me anymore. Why should I bother?" He stopped doing the small things, stopped moving as much, lost interest in food, forgot birthdays, even his own. His doctor said he was aging, but what really happened was shrinking, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. His life got smaller until it nearly disappeared. Now meet Henry, same age, same grief after losing his wife. But one quiet night, after watching a video much like this, he said to himself, "I'm still here, and I refuse to vanish quietly." He started small, a hand on the heart each morning, breathing deeply before bed, moisturizing his arms like they were still worth care. A month later, he started journaling. Then he signed up for an online watercolor class. And then he started dating again, not because he needed someone, but because he returned to himself first. Henry told me, "I didn't get younger, I got present, and somehow that made life richer than it ever was." This is what reconnection gives you, not youth, but something better. Vitality, purpose, permission to feel again. And when you feel, you move more, you smile more, you call old friends again, you get curious about tomorrow. This isn't about becoming who you used to be. It's about becoming who you still are, beneath the dust of habit and silence. That spark, it never left you. It was just waiting for your touch to return. The most important thing you'll ever reclaim. This is not about sex, it's about life. Take a deep breath. We've talked about touch, intimacy, shame, healing. But underneath all of that, this was never really about the body. It was about being alive in every sense of the word. Most people think aging is about slowing down, losing strength, letting go. But what if aging is actually about returning? Returning to what matters, to what makes us feel connected, curious, awake. And that begins not with medication or movement, but with permission. Permission to care for yourself, to enjoy yourself, to feel at home inside your own skin without apology. You see, when we were young, we didn't ask, "Am I allowed to feel joy?" We simply felt it. Then somewhere along the way, someone told us, "Not anymore. You're too old for that now. You don't need that anymore." And we believed them. But you don't have to keep believing them, because the truth is, you are still here. And as long as you're here, you deserve to feel here. This video wasn't meant to teach you about the past. It was to remind you that the most important chapter of your life may not be behind you. It might just be ahead. So here's what I want you to remember. You are not too old to feel alive. You are not too late to reconnect. You are not too broken to be whole again. Whether you're 61 or 91, your body is still listening. The only question is, will you speak back? Let this be the moment you return to yourself, not with pressure, not with shame, but with softness, with care, with the quiet courage to begin again. If you felt seen or moved by this message, I'd love for you to do 3 things. Leave a comment with the words, "I choose life." Let's create a space where others feel safe to begin too. Share this video with someone you care about. You never know whose life you might change just by opening this conversation. And finally, subscribe to this channel. Because here we don't just talk about getting older. We talk about getting truer. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where you come home, and I'm honored to walk with you.